Most MMOs suck, but there's still a perfect one out there for you. We just have to find it. Now this sounds a bit hyperbolic, but there was genuinely a time where I thought that I was just done playing MMOs. I'd log in, stand in a capital city, and spin my character in circles before finally logging off. I'd have multiple max level characters, decent gear, and still tons of content left to do. But the worst part is that I couldn't tell if the games were bad or if it was just me. This isn't a video about the best or most popular MMOs, and later on I'll explain how chasing population numbers could have actually kept me from finding MMOs that fit me perfectly. This video is about finding your MMO home, the game that you don't just play, but you belong to. And we're gonna get there in 4 steps. And somewhere in this video, I bet you're gonna realize why that MMO that you recently quit never even stood a chance. Here's the biggest mistake MMO players make. We try everything, but a lot of times we don't actually know what we want. So before you even touch a launcher, you need a priority list. Not a wish list, not a, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if list. You need a real list of things the game can have and things the game cannot have. Start simple. Focus on look and feel first. We'll get deeper into gameplay specifics in the next step once we talk about the Bartle system. But this is a fork in the road moment, because being honest with yourself is going to be harder than it sounds. Because the priority list forces you to be honest about the things that you love and hate in MMOs, even when those opinions aren't popular ones. And this matters way more than you might think. Your list could end up looking like this. Has to be realistic visuals, cannot be sci-fi, can't be click to move, and it has to be tab targeting. And suddenly, half the MMO market disappears. That's not a loss, that's clarity. But this is where a new problem can suddenly show up. There's a little voice that every MMO player knows. It sounds reasonable, it sounds responsible. It comes in and says, you've already spent so much time playing this game, leaving now would just be a waste. Shut up. This is the sunken cost fallacy, and you don't have to think that way. Time spent isn't value gained. If you're playing because you used to like an MMO, you're not loyal, you're being trapped. I was in this exact position for over a decade playing World of Warcraft.
I need to uninstall WoW. This is a game made for anyone who's playing. Look at you, idiot. Look at you, you idiot. Why are you playing this game?
Your priority list gives you permission to leave. It reframes the question from should I quit to does this game still fit me? And if it doesn't, then move on. Your MMO home shouldn't feel like an obligation. It should feel like logging in after a long day and thinking, yeah, this still feels right. So at this point, I thought I'd figured it out. I'd cracked the code. I had my list, I narrowed down my options, and I still couldn't find an MMO that felt right. This is when I realized something uncomfortable. The issue wasn't the games, it was me. And this is where the Bartle Player Types come in. Now I know this sounds like MMO astrology, but stick with me. This is where you find out which systems actually work for you and which ones you've been ignoring without even realizing it. The Bartle system comes from Richard Bartle, one of the original designers of early online multiplayer games, all the way back in the Mud era. Basically the ancestors of modern MMOs. He wasn't trying to rank players or tell anyone how they should play. He was trying to answer a much simpler question. Why do players log into the same virtual world and want completely different things out of it? What he found is that most players can be motivated by one or more of 4 core drives, and this is what he called them. Achievers, explorers, socializers, and killers. Now achievers want progress. That means things like leveling up, improving your gear, and getting a higher rank. You need the numbers to go up or your brain shuts down. And then there's explorers. You want immersive systems, things like hidden lore, secret objectives, and discovering something new. You can be happy alone as long as there's something else to explore. Next we have socializers. You play MMOs for the people. That means things like guilds, staying up late in voice chat, and all the drama that follows. The MMO itself is just a vehicle for you to hang out with your friends and meet new people. And finally we have killers. You hunger for competition. You seek dominance in PvP or climbing the leaderboards and speedruns. And if there's not someone to beat in a game, what's the point of even playing it? But the key thing is that Bartle wasn't saying that all players fit into these neat boxes. We're all a mix. And this system exists to explain why the same MMO can feel amazing to one player and then hollow for another. But this is where players realize something uncomfortable. I've been playing the wrong MMO genre for years. And yeah, that kind of stings. But this is why knowing your Bartle player type matters. It shifts you from chasing a game to finding a real home. You can easily find plenty of Bartle tests online, but remember to use it as a guide and not as a diagnosis. I'll link one down in the description that I've personally used to help you get started. Now this next step is the one that I had the most fun with, but it's also the most time consuming, which is why most people just rush through it. Cross-referencing. This is it. We're finally about to pick the MMO that's right for us. It's like window shopping for a good deal. Now we take our priority list and our player type and we cross-reference them against different potential MMOs. Now don't just go and look at the big names you already know. Take a deeper dive. There are great resources out there like Josh Strife Hayes' Ultimate MMO tier list that covers hundreds of different MMOs. And it's backed by science. Or sites like MMORPG.com that keeps an active list of games that are still playable. Those kinds of lists are great for getting the ball rolling and exposing you to games you probably would have never considered otherwise. And if that sounds good to you, then you're going to love today's sponsor, me. Because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing on this channel. Breaking down MMOs I've played and scoring how they align with the different Bartle types and plotting them on a 4-quadrant chart so you can see which games are most likely to fit how you play. If you want to catch those videos as they come out, go ahead and like this one and subscribe to the channel. Filthy plug over. But seriously, remember when looking at these different options, you don't ask, is this a good game? You ask, is this game good for me? That's the difference between being a tourist and becoming a resident. Now comes the part that everybody skips. You have to actually play the game. Not, I watched a YouTube review, I logged in for a couple hours and I hit level 10. You need to play long enough to get past the learning curve, understand the systems, and figure out the gameplay loop. New MMOs can feel rough at first, which is normal. It's like learning a new language. Early on, you're translating everything in your head, but over time, you become fluent. But even once the mechanics click, there's still one important thing that all MMOs need to have, and that's a community of people that you can play with. Which leads us right into another major problem we've all faced. I'm searching for a new MMO to try, but they're all dead. And this is what I call the MMO population negative feedback loop. This is when a player says that no one's playing this game and then they don't play it, which makes it even smaller, which makes more people leave. But here's the truth, population numbers lie. Well, okay, they don't lie, but they can be very misleading. MMOs don't feel alive because of raw numbers, they feel alive because of engagement. Even games with a few hundred players can feel more alive than ones with thousands of strangers. Because in small MMOs, people recognize you. The guilds actually matter, and so does your reputation. Rift is a perfect example. On paper, it has a tiny population, but in practice, it has community-run events, constant interactions, and tons of familiar faces. And I'm not saying that you should only play small MMOs, just don't rule them out. If a game fits you, play it anyways. Become part of the reason it feels alive. And the more people that do this, the bigger these small MMOs will actually become. And that's how MMO homes are built. The moment you find your MMO home isn't some dramatic milestone. It's subtle. It's logging in because you want to play the game, not because you feel left behind. It's recognizing names in chat. It's knowing where you're already going to go before the map even loads. It's feeling like the game fits you instead of you forcing yourself to fit the game. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you stop chasing what's popular and start choosing what's actually right for you. And if this video did its job, you're probably already thinking about games that you've already quit or games that you never even gave a fair shot and realizing why it didn't work or why that one still might. So here's what I want to know. What MMO have you played felt the closest home for you, even if you don't play it anymore? And what do you think that it got right that other games didn't? Drop it down in the comments. I read all of them and it's genuinely one of my favorite parts about doing this. And who knows, maybe your experience will help another player find their perfect MMO home. And as I mentioned before, I'll be starting a new series where I break down MMOs following this exact framework. Priority lists, player types, and showing exactly where they land. This way you don't have to guess anymore. So hopefully I see you there, and until then, continue to explore indoors. See ya.